What's going on against Binance is those are really, really serious and alleged
commingling of consumer funds
and directly charging the founder, who's a an entrepreneur that created a lawless environment. That's what the SEC is claiming. This Coinbase situation is interesting for us domestically because they've been actually at war with each other for over 3 years. And I think what I've said as an institutional investor now is it's time to lay down the olive branches. It's clear now that the CEO of Coinbase, which has lost 70% of its market cap since the IPO, Gensler is razor clear about what he wants. He's basically saying, let's just take one asset that everybody knows. He's calling Bitcoin a security. He wants to regulate where you trade it like a broker-dealer exchange. And he has no flexibility.
Recently, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other digital currencies have faced significant turbulence. This is largely due to the SEC and US regulators bringing legal proceedings against two of the world's most prominent cryptocurrency exchanges, Binance and Coinbase. Authorities allege that Coinbase has engaged in the trading of unregistered securities, signifying a sale of cryptocurrencies without the requisite authorization. The accusations lodged against Binance are even more severe. They face allegations of engaging in money laundering, fraudulent activities, and unregistered securities trading, among many others. These lawsuits are targeted against CEO CZ and Binance themselves. In response to these serious allegations, banks globally have started distancing themselves from Binance, Coinbase, and general cryptocurrency transactions. This has led to a critical disruption in the primary routes of entering and exiting the cryptocurrency market. Consequently, the crypto prices have taken a hit, triggering widespread concern about future implications. One man who has had some famously bad takes on the crypto industry, such as backing FTX, whose founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, is now facing life in federal prison, is Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary. In his most recent interview, he spoke on the lawsuits brought against both Binance and Coinbase and why he believes it now makes the crypto space radioactive waste. Here's exactly what he had to say.
Now, one of two things should happen. If you're a shareholder or a board member of Coinbase, I'd swap leadership. I'd get a new person to run it and go back into the staff and say, we got to work this out. Because the whole industry's been stymied for 3 years. We'll never get capital appreciation until an institution can invest. I've talked to sovereign wealth. I've talked to institutions in the last 48 hours. You know what they've said? This makes this asset class radioactive waste.
Yeah, exactly.
We are not going to touch this until this thing's resolved. So here's a company that could resolve it. They claim they're the leaders. Well, if the leader of that company, and I'm not, I'm not pulling any punches. If he was working for me, I'd fire him. I'd get somebody else.
You're talking about the head of Coinbase.
Yes, it's over. It's so over, it's almost getting boring. Gensler has told him countless times, no, 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 and no. And everybody hears it except him. So maybe what you do, and you thank him for his great work as a pioneer.
You're supposed to do that if you want something done in Washington.
Well, you take him out behind the barn and you make the swap. You get a new CEO at Coinbase to go back in there and say, let's make a deal. Because look at it this way. If you could walk in right now and say, okay, Gensler, you win. Let's regulate this. Let's call it a security. You get $1 trillion worth of assets for an allocation of just 3% in sovereign wealth. You could open the spigots. You could really make this industry take off and own it domestically. But read the tea leaves, read the room, listen, read Gensler's lips. The answer is no, no, no. And you gotta listen to that. You can't beat him.
So until that happens, where is a much easier win for yield for investors who are watching right now?
You can go to Canada, you can go to London, you can go to Zurich, you can go to Abu Dhabi. But most of us don't want to do that. I've moved all mine to Canada because it's close enough, and the OSC, the Ontario Securities Commission, granted a license to a company called BitBuy. It's now owned by WonderFi, a company I own a piece of, and they are operating under legislation. Now, they're very restricted in what tokens they can actually put on the platform, and that's what Gensler's saying. I'll give you some, I'll approve them, I'll let you stake, but you've got to basically tell me that's interest, capital gains, capital losses.
So there's Kevin O'Leary on why he thinks Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong should be replaced and strike a deal with the SEC, and also why he thinks crypto is now radioactive waste. On one hand, you can see O'Leary's point, but on the other, Brian's frustration with regulators is completely understandable. Coinbase has been attempting to work with the SEC for years now and practically begging them for transparency when it comes to regulation of the crypto industry. Not only did the SEC give the green light to Coinbase and their business activities back in 2021 when they approved their IPO, but now they are backpedaling on the decision and retroactively punishing by enforcement. In my opinion, this is another one of Kevin O'Leary's notoriously bad takes on crypto. Not only has he been flip-flopping on whether he is even a supporter of Bitcoin and crypto or not, but the man he put the most faith in and investment in was Sam Bankman-Fried. Don't forget that Kevin O'Leary was one of FTX's paid celebrity spokesmen and was paid tens of millions of dollars for promoting them. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Does Kevin O'Leary have a good point, or is this another bad take? Let me know what you think. Anyway guys, I hope today's video brought you some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.